Dr. Shivshankar, it's 8:30. Let us
Yeah,
start.
we'll start, sir. Almost
Yes.
28, 30 people are there now. So the rest of the people will join by, I think, around 10, 15 more will join, sir. 40 to 50.
Good evening, everyone. I welcome you all from the MCNS EC committee, and I thank Dr. Karmakar sir to have such a different topic selected and such a good speakers. So there is a lot to learn today. So without wasting any time, I hand over to Dr. Karmakar sir.
Hi, good evening, everybody. As neurosurgeons, we love to discuss our ideas, our results, our successes and failures with our colleagues and peers. And this has traditionally taken the form of conferences, publication, and so on, and now social media, of course. Uh, we are also at the beginning of the artificial intelligence era. I think we have to accept that it's either seen as a panacea or a doomsday predictor. But be that as it may, I think we need to examine the intersection of this tool. It's a tool after all, as all neurosurgeons are used to using tools, with how we communicate with our colleagues, peers, and with the public in general. So that is the premise behind the topic for this webinar, that is neurosurgical communication at the cusp of the AI era. We have some excellent speakers, three speakers, Professor Girish Menon, who is Chief of Neurosurgery at the KMC Hospital at Manipal. He's also the current editor of Neurology India. Then we are also joined by Dr. Rakesh Lohana, who's a very busy practitioner, neurosurgeon at Baroda at his hospital, the Venus Hospitals. And our third speaker, the youngest of the lot, is Dr. Bhushan Thombre, who's an assistant professor at the PDM Medical College in Amravati, and currently is talking to us from Canada, where he is just beginning his spine fellowship. As always, the talks, we will have them back to back, three talks, 15 minutes each. This will be followed by our panel discussion, and we have some eminent panelists today as well. We have Dr. Dev Pujari from Mumbai, Bombay Hospital, and Dr. Patkar from Pune. Both very passionate teachers, and I don't think much needs to be said in terms of for their introduction. We have Professor Suresh Dugani from Hubli, who is also a very big presence on social media and has a very popular YouTube channel with educational surgical videos. We are joined by Dr. Kishore Chaudhary from Sheffield, and he has been part of the editorial team at the British Journal of Neurosurgery, so he has skin in the game for this webinar. I am also joined by Dr. Dattatreya Muzumdar, who is Chief of Neurosurgery at Sion Hospital and is also a much cited author in neurosurgical literature. So without much ado, I would request Dr. Girish Menon to start on his talk for AI in scientific publishing, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
Thank you, Dr. Vikram. Thank you, Dr. Shivshankar, the entire MCNS team, and my distinguished teachers and professors who are also there. As Dr. Rakesh was telling, it gives you some jitters, especially when you are talking on a. Am I audible and visible? Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, you
audible
are.
and visible.
Yes, you are, Girish.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
So it's a topic which you are not well conversant with, and I must confess that I am not tech savvy. Forget it about being tech savvy. And even in neurosurgery, I would say that just a moment, I'm having just a moment. I'll just reshare again. Some issues with my. Just give me a moment. I'll just earlier the one which I earlier did is still remaining in the.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Yeah. So what I meant was forget about being savvy in technology. Even in neurosurgery, this is where I feel this is the famous Peter principle, which essentially states that as you reach a level of competence in a particular job, as you climb up the ladder, you reach a stage where you're incompetent. So that's what I feel after 30 years of neurosurgery. The way things are rapidly developing, you kind of get skilled in one particular technique, and then you find something new comes. So I'm scared to attend conferences nowadays because all the youngsters come up with so many new techniques and new philosophies, and that you feel totally grossly ill-equipped in terms of neurosurgical procedures. The same I would say in real life also, because at home also you feel kind of fossil, like a fossil in front of your kids when there's so much of new technology happening. So it is in this context that I would must say that when I took over the journal editorship of Neurology India last, again that was something which I was not familiar to, and then I started doing some courses on that. And when I did a course, in fact, on meta-analysis and systematic review. And this is what I found recently. So just as I thought that I had some knowledge about how to conduct and how to write a meta-analysis and systematic review, this is just, this I'm sure it is circulating on the coin trendy on the WhatsApp and the social media now, published in 19 June in one of the Nature subjournals. So you can use artificial intelligence to produce, it has produced almost 12 systematic reviews in 2 days. So something like a systematic review, which researchers work on for months and sometimes in years to produce one systematic review. And this artificial intelligence tool called the Auto SR. And this is, of course, this is a preprint journal article. This has not been peer reviewed or published as yet, but this Auto SR has been used by researchers, and it has reproduced and updated an entire issue of Cochrane reviews in 2 days. So this is the magnitude in which artificial intelligence is likely to come and bring out a paradigm shift in medical research and publication. So we have, Vikram has segregated 3 topics today, and I would just be concentrating on the involvement or the effect or the use and abuse, as I would say, of artificial intelligence in medical research and publishing. So I have termed it as a SWOT analysis, the strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threat analysis of artificial intelligence. And of course, I wouldn't go too much into the other aspects of artificial intelligence because Dr. Bhushan will be talking about other AI tools as well as social media by Dr. Rakesh. So just to give us a background, now you have a lot of artificial intelligence tool, and here again, I would just concentrate on a couple of them. Actually, as far as medical research and publication is concerned, it is the LLM, or what we call the large language models, which are essentially used. So basically, the best example for all of us, which all of us are quite well versed in, is the ChatGPT of the OpenAI. So again, NLM or LLM is I would say a high of product of natural language processing and generative AI. So I guess Dr. Bhushan might talk more into it. So I would restrict on the use of LLM or the large language models in medical research and publications. So what is the background and what is the current scenario as of now? So this is again a recent article. I wouldn't say recent. In 2024, published in one of the Nature subgroup, a scientific report by the Nature subgroup. And this was a research conducted across 2,000 researchers on the use and awareness. As Vikram put it, it is just in its infancy, I would say, but the way it is exploding, we can't wait. It's likely to overtake us at any moment. The use of LLMs, or as we commonly use ChatGPT and other AI tools. So what were their observations? So the level of observation of the level of awareness about among researchers, medical researchers, and those who publish is extremely familiar. You would see is only 7.1 percentage. This is all in percentage. So you will find that just like 7.1 are extremely familiar with the use of LLMs or OpenGI and generative AI. And again, in this, you would say those who are younger, of course, are much more familiar. And prior to 2022, it was almost non-existent. Nobody ever used it. Almost only 13.6% were aware of that. In the level of use, again, it is still, you will find that almost 80%, 70% still rarely use or very infrequently use AI tools in medical research and publication. And what are the areas in which AI tools can be used in medical research? Of course, it can give you study ideas. It can be used. I will come into all those in detail, but most commonly you would find it is used in, at present, it is used in language editing and check of language and grammatic mistakes, and basically edition of your text. And how many of them acknowledge? So this study found that hardly 40% of them acknowledge the use of LLMs or the AI tools when they publish an article. So this is just to give a broad overview about what is the impact of AI and what is the future. This is all a questionnaire survey-based study which was conducted, and they found again the green one is the use of AI. Now the bottom you find is in what all areas is AI going to be used in future. You would find that the most commonly artificial intelligence or LLM models, or the chat GPT as we can more call it more, is more likely to be used in revision editing and grammatical errors and formatting. So as of now, you would find that it is relatively safe. OpenAI and the ChatGPT is likely to be used for language editing. Now, this is another article again published last year, late 2024. It uses this is much more interesting because this is again a questionnaire-based survey which surveyed corresponding authors who published in 2022 in 15 highest impact medical journals. So this you can see the top-end researchers who published in the high impact journals. So again, around 400 of them were surveyed as to the use of ChatGPT and so forth in their research and publications. And this brought out the most common tool again was ChatGPT. But this came out with some interesting observations. When asked about the future use of AI, the high-end publishers, high-end researchers opined that that the use is likely to be highly improbable that they would use it most often, and only 8.4%, and the 39.4%, or almost we can say 50% of them were sure that they're going to use ChatGPT and other AI tools in their future publication. And the concerns bordered around content inaccuracies, technical problems, and so forth, which I would come highlight later. So this gives us a broad overview on what the status is. So as was mentioned earlier, it is just beginning to explode. Researchers are just getting to know about the use of ChatGPT and other AI tools. It is still not frequently used, as in the West, it is just almost 50%. And in India, I must say it must be still lesser. So what are the areas in which, or what are the fields in which AI or AI tools can be used while you're making a paper or writing a publication? Of course, it can help you in idea generation. It can help in identifying gaps in literature review. It can tell you about the methodology that you would like to use to develop your search criteria for reviews. It can help you in analysis of your statistical tools. It can help you in manuscript preparation. It can help you in choosing the right journal to be published. And once your article is published, it can help you in, like all of you are aware of ResearchGate and so forth, and it can help you in disseminating your publication and your matrices to your friends and to your colleagues in the research circles. Now, this looks like a very comprehensive picture where AI tools can be used in all aspects of medical research and publication. Now, what aspects of this are ethical and which of this can be used safely is what we need to discuss about. Now, this is one example of an article which we published from my institute in 2023. Now, we just had a case of extraventricular neurocytoma of the posterior fossa, and the case report was entirely written by ChatGPT. We just wrote a brief history about the case, and the rest or the discussion part was all written by ChatGPT, and this got published in Curious, in fact, which is again a PubMed index article journal. So now this article, we got it published in, say, I would say written in, of course, less than a day, and got published in months time, because it was just in that nascent period when this kind of articles were accepted. Now these kind of articles are no longer accepted. this was again accepted primarily because we disclosed the fact that the entire article and the heading itself mentioned that the entire article was written based on ChatGPT. Now, if I look at this article 2 years later, in the discussion part, I find that there are a lot of inaccuracies about extraventricular neurocytomas, which have been mentioned and quoted in that article. So that is one drawback of ChatGPT based article writing, which I want to highlight later. So, so the problems which as a reviewer, as a like what I mentioned earlier was as an author and then as a reviewer or as an editor, when we sit on the other end of the journal, again AI can be multi-factor. It can help us in multiple tasks in detecting methodological inconsistencies, in potential plagiarism, all these tools which you use like the authenticate, the Turnitin, all are based on ML and machine learning or AI based tools. It can help in detecting inconsistencies. It can generate concise summarize. So nowadays it's so easy to actually each time I get an article for review, as I'm reading the article, if I'm using Microsoft Edge, you have a toolbox which opens on the side, which offers to give you a summary, or AI tool which offers to give you a summary of the article in a brief, concise summary. So most of the time, reviewers are kind of seduced to use that tool to just give a quick review of the article. Reviewer suggestion and of course, as an editor, it can sort out and tell who are the reviewers, possible reviewers who work in this area, and I can choose my reviewers based on that. It can provide a structured feedback. It can help in, of course, if you can train, it can help as an editor. It can help to automatically reject multiple articles, and it can help you speed up your work. So the use of AI is innumerable, and it can definitely expedite both writing part of it and editing part of it. Now, this looks so very cozy and easy, but it's not as easy or risk-free as it appears to. Now, this is one of the major drawbacks of AI. What are the major drawbacks which we need to be something called AI hallucination? It creates ostensibly accurate but factually erroneous data, such as fabricated bibliographic references. So this is something which, as medical researchers, which we need to be, because it has been fed a lot of data, and it comes out with a jargon of information and jargon of it will be very literally very flowery language. It will summarize what you want, but it might have a lot of inconsistencies, and this is called AI hallucinations. And the well-known Dunning-Kruger effect also affects AI also. So it's a cognitive, this tends to believe that it is more capable than what it is. So Dunning-Kruger effect essentially is a cognitive bias where people with low ability at a task overestimate their competence, while those with high ability may underestimate. So we actually now, even researchers nowadays, it has become so as tempting that even to write a simple letter which you would have just drafted without much hesitation, we tend to draft it and put it into OpenGI or a ChatGPT and try to get it refined. And that is something which is, I'm sure all of us must be experiencing. But this is exactly what happens with a use of AI. It tends to overestimate its ability. And there is something called the black box problem with AI. There's a lack of transparency. You give it some data and it comes out with an output. It does not tell you how it has analyzed it. So there's a lack of transparency in it. So this is called the black box problem, which is specifically linked to the use of AI. And then there is this problem called cytogenesis. That is, if it produces what it has been taught. It reproduces as you sow, so you reap. So whatever is taught to the machine, it produces. So it can result if it is not given the right information. If trained on biased data sets, they can produce skewed or discriminatory results. So there is the exact definition of cytogenesis, and you can have flawed conclusions which can be perpetuated throughout the medical world. Then again, if you're using LLMs or ChatGPT for referencing medical literature, it is notorious in misusing and misinterpreting that. And then, of course, the more you use it, this is called the Gardner hype cycle, and the use of that is for any new technology. There will be an initial uphill curve. So if you get dependent on this, I'm sure there's going to be a phase where it will plateau, and then slowly the use of AI in medical research and publication is going to come down. So what are the basic concerns that we need to be aware of? Plagiarism and academic dishonesty. So this is what is going to, how the entire medical field is going to, when I get an article as an editor, when I get an article for review, there's no way right now to know. Of course, we have these AI tools which can check the amount of AI generated content, but it is definitely, there's no foolproof way to detect how accurate it is. So if you perpetuate, if you allow this to continue, there is a chance that if you are promoting plagiarism and academic dishonesty. And as I said, because of this problem of AI hallucinations and cytogenesis, there is a risk that we'll be propagating data and knowledge which is not, which is inaccurate, which can be disastrous, and it can eventually result in the public's eroding confidence in science, not only in medicine, any field. The worst is that what, I would say, like the once the UPI has come, the use of UPI has come, all of us have forgotten basic mathematics, simple counting, subtraction. We have all forgotten. The same thing is going to happen, as I mentioned. Like for simple tasks, like writing a letter, we depend on ChatGPT. And with the use of rampant use of AI tools, it is going to de-skill the next generation of researchers. And of course, we are going to have a lot of new legal copyright and confidentiality issues, because there is no way to, as I said, as of now, we do not have foolproof ways to detect what is AI generated, what is not. And there can be a lot of copyright and issues. Now, of course, and when I say that there are no ways to detect something as AI generated or not, they are trying to come out with something called AI watermarking. So when you have a photograph like this, there can be some kind of watermarks imprinted into that by the AI tool, which can be detected by a suitable person. So that is something, if a warning to all researchers like us. So if we're trying to use AI generated tools, it could be an illustration, it could be a photograph, it could be text also. There is a possibility that the owner of the tool, AI tool, can kind of include a small watermark with it, which can be later detected to prove that it is an AI generated content. So this is something which we need to be careful about. But again, on the flip side, there are AI tools which can detect watermarks also. So nothing is foolproof. It is in a very fluid situation. And this is what you continuously uses. There's a chance that you can be branded as a or author of duplicate materials. So this, as I said initially, I use this as a strength. Like I could publish a paper in 2 days. This was mentioned as a strength of AI some time back. But then, as I said later, 2 years later, when I review this article, I find that there are a lot of inconsistencies in the discussion part regarding extraventricular neurocytoma. So as I feel that probably I am kind of culprit in propagating some wrong information through this article. The same about this kind of materials, which I again mentioned earlier as a strength of AI. You have systematic reviews coming up in 12 days, in 2 days, 12 systematic reviews in 2 days. You naturally kind of doubt the credibility of such literature which comes out. So this is again the as I said, the initial survey which I had quoted by top researchers. So these were exactly the worries which I just mentioned about the rampant use of AI, impaired creativity, which I mentioned, unintended bias, lack of accountability, and so forth. So these are just some of the major concerns. So then comes the issue of whether it is ethical to do so or not. Again, $1 million question. We do not have answers to that. And that is what brings us to what are the do's and don'ts which we need to follow when we use AI in medical research and publication. So conceptualization and idea generation. So this is a big no. If you're using, research has to come from within, you need to have a question for which you need to seek an answer. You can't be asking AI to produce a question for you. So that natural inquisitiveness, that is the basic concept for any research, that has to come from within. So you shouldn't be asking AI what should be my thesis topic. You can, of course, ask once you have a thesis topic, you can ask what is the methodology, how to go for it. But again, that is not the right thing to do. So choosing methodology, whether you need to do a randomized control study or a cross-sectional study, whatever it is. So you can probably ask that, but again, that again needs your expertise and preferably no. Data analysis, yes, you have a large volume of data. Of course, AI can do it good and fast for you. Use for grammar and spell check, yes, that is exactly where it is used and most commonly, and especially in non-English natively speaking uh, countries, and especially in countries like India, where we are not that fluent with English in most of the places. This is where AI comes in handy. Use of AI to draft or summarize text, yes. Using AI as an author, it's a big no. Use of AI generated images, again, a big no. And as I said, there's a big risk, huge risk. It is in AI generated images where the use of watermarks are right now being tested. So there are high chances that you might get caught if you don't disclose this. Whatever said and done, it should retain a human. Final review is mandatory. So the most important do's is whenever you use AI, please make it a point to disclose it. And ideally, you disclose it in the method section, that you use this version of ChatGPT to summarize or to edit or to language edit to check for grammar mistakes and so forth, or for your data analysis, for your statistical analysis. So the name of the AI tool, the LLM version, the extension version number, all should be used. So that is how you need to use it. And whenever the most important second do is whenever you use AI, please cross check it for accuracy. The don'ts, never list AI as an author because it does not have accountability. If you are a reviewer, please do not succumb to the temptation which props up on the side of your screen asking, offering to provide a summary of your article. All the AI tools do that in most of the PDF tools which you use, because reviewers should not upload the manuscript or any part of it. It's a breach of confidentiality, because once you upload an article onto an AI tool to summarize it, it becomes a public domain, and that is a breach of confidentiality, which as a reviewer you should never do. And use of AI generated images is not allowed unless the paper is specifically you're going to discuss something about AI generated images, then of course you can use it, but otherwise do not use AI generated images. To summarize, so I would like to say medical research at the end of the day, it is all about transparency, accountability, and scientific integrity, and that has to come from within. AI should be your slave and not vice versa. It should help you to make your work faster and sharper. We need to use it judiciously and always declare when it is used. If not, we risk losing our credibility. And to summarize, and the final take-home message is 3 criteria for this has been proposed by Mann et al. Always when you use AI, whatever form it is, human vetting and guaranteeing is important. Ensure that it is not totally AI generated. There should be a substantial human contribution. Always acknowledge. And 4 questions before you submit your research for publication. Have I used generative AI in a fashion to ensure that the primary ideas are my own? Have I used generative AI in a fashion to ensure that humans will maintain competence in core research? Have I double checked all that is mentioned? And have I disclosed? So essentially, at this point, my recommendation would be to use AI not for generating ideas, but once you have an idea or a research question, you can use AI tools to proceed with probably the methodology. Once you have data, you can use it for data analysis. Once you prepare a script, probably you can use one of the AI tools to refine what you have written. But whenever you do that, disclose it and always cross-check for accuracy. Thank you.
Thank you, Girish. That is a lot of information to digest. I would request our participants to put their questions in the chat in the meanwhile. We move on to our next speaker, Dr. Rakesh Luhana, to talk about social media and its impacts. Dr. Rakesh, please share your screen.
My screen is visible, Vikram?
Yes, it's seen. Sir.
Yes, yes, Rakesh, please go ahead.
So thank you, MCNS, for allowing me to give this talk, Social Media Amplification Conferences for a Neurosurgeon. So I would divided this talk in two topics, social media amplification and conferences. As social media is mainly for a general public, while conferences is predominantly academics. Okay. Just look at the numbers. 62.6% of the world's population is on social media. That means 5.03 billion people. According to Forbes, 77% of marketers use social media to connect with their audience, and 76% of social media users have bought the product or used the services. What does this mean for medicine? Google says that it receives more than 1 billion health questions a day. That means almost 70,000 health related searches per minute, and 7% of total daily searches is related to health. And do you think this is only from young generation? But this data shows that almost all the generation is using uh, Google to search about doctors, dentists, or medical care. So basically, social media amplification is boosting your content's reach and impact using various social media platforms. But why a neurosurgeon should be on a social media? Healthcare scenario is changing. Traditionally, we have been always vouching for word of mouth practice. But as per this survey, in recent data, especially in the major cities, the word of mouth practice is reduced by 29% only, while 71% is through search on Google. In a smaller cities, still it works. Once you become senior, still it works. But in an era of highly competitive era, and especially you are young, I think social media can be your big friend. So what would be the purpose of being on social media? One, to become a brand, to being trustworthy and dependable brand, to generate more awareness. You want to announce inauguration, upgradation, expansions. If you want to attract more patient, that means if you want to generate more business and revenue, and to help future generation of neurosurgeons by sharing expertise, opinion, or videos if you're senior, and to get connected globally with peers like as in LinkedIn. And yes, peer pressure also acts here. What are the components? Google My Business page, update and reviews is the first thing. Your website should be mobile friendly with search engine optimization. You should write blogs, which is consistent and search engine optimized focus. You should be on social media like FB, Insta, or LinkedIn. YouTube awareness also is very important. There are some paid ads, guest post links, online articles. We will discuss about all this. What do doctors most commonly use? The most common social media platform being used is Facebook, followed by Instagram, LinkedIn, and so on. We'll begin with Google review. So we started Google review when I saw a few of dissatisfied patient putting 1 star, and then one of good friends suggested that you should ask your patient to put positive reviews. And now we have almost 2,700 reviews with 4.9 stars. And it summarizes our hospital as excellent doctors, helpful and polite staff, cleanliness and hygiene, reasonable treatment rates, friendly atmosphere, and successful surgeries. So you can provide positive impact of your hospital or of your work through Google review. So it's important that you focus on your Google review and ask your satisfied patient to put reviews for sure. WhatsApp can be a good friend. I use status for my testimonials, accolades, surgical videos, or complex cases. There are various groups one can be active in where you can put your difficult case, complex case, and you can be active in various social groups as well where you can put your talks or details about awareness. And you can begin your own WhatsApp channel as well. We have this Venus Spine Academy to help colleagues better at the craft of spine surgery, where we discuss about complex spine cases. And if anyone has any queries, they put and we suggest our opinions and share similar kind of cases. Next is Facebook. I've been very active on Facebook. So recently, like we organized this conference, I had been on Facebook, patient testimonial, I put it there. We welcome a fellow, and that is there on my FB page. Had a workshop in a faculty there, that is also there. We published a YouTube video on endoscopic spine surgery and shared a link on FB. Our data of what kind of work we do, that is on FB. So WhatsApp and FB gives you reach to your context. But beyond that, YouTube is a medium. YouTube is one of the second most popular health search source after Google, and India has the highest YouTube users. And every 24 hours, almost 30 million users are there on YouTube. So YouTube is a very, very strong medium. You can use your awareness talks, surgical videos, common queries, and in a recent with YouTube Shorts, you can make 30-second videos and put there on YouTube. Professor Dr. Suresh Dugani, every neurosurgeon would be knowing him. He has 600 videos on YouTube with almost 13.7K subscribers. And look at this, he has all surgeries videos, and there are almost 240,000 views on this video. And see here, first video published 14 years ago, latest video is 6 days ago. So you have to be consistent for a long period of time to be visible. Now Dr. Suresh Dugani is known for these videos all across India and maybe all across globe. Instagram is a very popular medium in a younger generation. This Dr. Hoflinger is a neurosurgeon, US based. My son, who is not a neurosurgeon, but he knows about him because he put a lot of videos daily on Instagram. He has almost 423,000 followers, and he talks a day in life of a neurosurgery, simple topics, lumbar canal stenosis, whether you can have back surgery or no. And daily he's putting all these videos, and you can look at views, 2.7 million views, 730,000 views. And just giving you an example, how simply...
What do you think is the answer to this question? Can you be paralyzed if you have a pinned spinal cord? And if you have a pinned spinal cord, do you have to have surgery? What do you think is the...
So these videos have to be crisp, short, with captions and in a language as patient understand. Next is LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a medium where if you want to get connected with peers all across the globe, this is a medium. Look at this. This is a post from a young spine surgeon from Ahmedabad about atlantoaxial subluxation, and he gets reviews and comments from all across the globe. Professor from Germany, UK, US, all across the globe, and appreciation from them boosts your confidence. Suggestion from them boosts your craft. So LinkedIn is a medium if you want to get connected with peers globally. I've been using podcast awareness talks for local channels, and this is also a good medium. Remote video consultation can make your reach beyond your city. If you're good at writing, blog is an important medium. Dr. Mazda Turel writes very well, and he has created a lot of fan following through these beautifully written blogs. So now your YouTube, WhatsApp, FB, Insta, Google reviews, one might get confused. How do I start and how will it happen? But as Kabir said, जिन खोजा तीन पाइया गहरे पानी पैठ मैं बपूरा बुडन डरा रहा किनारे बैठ. Means if you want to get something, you have to immerse into it. You have to get into water to taste of it. So you have to start somewhere. How do I start? You can choose one or two platforms. Decide your goals, whether you want to go for awareness, education, networking. You choose a clear handle so that you will be visible easily. Your biography should be consistent across platforms. You should use professional profile photo. You maintain tone as an educator. You are not an influencer. Keep that in mind. And you follow and engage with other neurosurgeons to get better at it. How to do it well? Target accurately. Find your ideal customer base and focus there. Be creative. High value info with attractive visuals would make a difference. Hire a good professional team and make a good creative videos. You engage with your audience, respond to comments and messages. Schedule your post at regular intervals that would feel a constant presence, and you monitor your engagement and change your strategy accordingly. There are paid social amplification strategies as well. There are meta ads, LinkedIn ads, promoted tweets that may be useful for maybe corporate hospitals, but at individual level also. I know few doctors who are into it. There are various guidelines. What is allowed on social media? Factual information, public education without soliciting, announcements, teleconsultation. What is not allowed? Patient details or photos, patient testimonials. Don't purchase likes or follows. Don't pay for higher ranking, and public education disguised as soliciting. What are ethical responsibilities? You have to maintain professional conduct online, avoid misleading content, ensure patient confidentiality, Promote evidence-based practices. Never guarantee results of any kind, and avoid using superlatives like the best, the most effective, first in the city, state, or country. There are various benefits. First thing is you grow beyond your city. You improve awareness in society, you get direct patient referral. You showcase rare or complex cases among peers, like among neurosurgery groups. You get respect among your specialists. It builds your reputation. You start getting referral from other clinicians, and you can contribute to upgrade knowledge across your fraternity, and hence overall care would improve. Always there is other side of coin. The privacy violation, misinterpretation of information, online criticism. Ati sarvatra varjate. Yani, if you are there too much into it, it consumes your time. You lose focus. You become patient-centric, you become media-centric. And there is always a stress of creating better and better content, stress to get more likes, views, and comments. So take home message. A social media is a powerful tool when used responsibly. You forget the competition, focus on your own brand, be authentic, be consistent, provide high value information, and aim for customer loyalty and combination building. And even in today or any time in future, your satisfied patient will bring more patient. And once you have a pool of satisfied patient, you don't worry about competition. You will keep growing and growing. So that has been about social media. Second half, conferences for a neurosurgeon. This is a shlok from Indian scripture. Aham taruno ma jivagrame ma maranam upeti. Atma va idam kevalam sarvam charevati charevati. That means I am ever young, never aging, nor subject to death or decay. It is the self alone that exists in all. Keep moving, keep moving. That suggests it's a call to never stop, keep evolving, keep learning, keep exploring, whether in life, knowledge, spirituality, or personal growth. It encourages meeting new people, embracing change, and marching ahead in your journey. Conference is all about this. So conferences play a vital role in continuous learning and evolution as a neurosurgeon. Your basic training, even if you are from an excellent institute that lasts for 5 years, go beyond, you will have to be active academically. Decide your area of subspecialty. Make sure you attend at least one subspecialty conference a year. You will always learn something, be it rare case, rare complication, new technique or trick. When you are going as a delegate like this, me with friends in 2015, be a good listener, be attentive, learn to interact and ask questions. Find some mentor whom you can get connected later as well, and you grow in that field. Observership is a good idea. Find some mentor and go for observership. It is an opportunity to meet friends who will be in the same boat. Once you become senior, you start going in conferences as a faculty. It is always confidence boosting. You need to prepare. You look at a subject in depth. It improves your command over English. You analyze your data. You get insight and prepare for a better future more research, clinical research in future. It's an opportunity to interact and see the work of the best in the field that inspires you. Yes, at times you get appreciated, you may get criticized, you may get grilled at times, but overall you grow as a person. Being a MI surgeon, I'm in company of these best MI surgeons of India, and you learn from each one some trick, something about life, something about practice. And I'm in company of endoscopic spine surgeons as well. And with that, it improves your craft, it improves your dedication, and gives you vision. Career workshop as a delegate as well as faculty is always a very good tool to learn surgical craft. And once you get senior, I had an opportunity to lead this live operative workshop where we did this difficult CV junction cases. And once you do this kind of cases, it boosts your confidence as well as it builds your reputation. So it's you keep evolving as a presenter, as a demonstrator, be in live cadaver workshops. And then you reach a level, you start organizing conferences. This we organize at Baroda various MISAB live workshop. I'm a SAG Spine Association Gujarat secretary. We had recently conducted our annual meet. So once you start organizing, you start learning how to get a sponsor, how to budget a conference, how to interact, how to invite faculty. So you grow as a person basically. And it's definitely an opportunity to meet mentors and legions. Majority of my mentors and legions are here. You learn about innovation, dedication to the field. They've given their life to the field. They are very passionate, enthusiastic, energetic. They are very hardworking, perfectionist, and yet humble. So you imbibe those qualities, you get better as a human. Yes, it's an opportunity to meet alma mater alumni and friends as well, and remembering good times. You learn and interact with young generation that keeps you enthusiastic, and you learn from them as well. And with being regular in conferences, now our spine fellowship has been recognized by Neurospine Surgeon Association as well as Minimally Invasive Spine Surgeon Association, and these are my past and present fellows. And it's not only about academics. Like in last MISAB, there was a running event, and I had been on podium. I'm running for 10 years, but this was first time I'd been on podium with as a runner, and it's dancing and going picnic with friends, and you learn from friends and colleagues. And conference gives you an excellent opportunity to listen to these stalwarts: Atul Gawande, Gyan Vatsal Swami, APJ Abdul Kalam. She's Preeti Srinivasan, who was an aspiring cricketer, become a paraplegic, and now she is starting a rehab for paraplegic. He is a young doctor. He has climbed Mount Everest, and he has summited 7 summits, and we had listened to his inspiring talks. So you learn from all this. Yes, there are some disadvantages. Number of conferences are rising. Not all conferences provide high academic value. Possible industry bias in presentations. It involves cost and time. You lose practice, you lose some revenue. Eats away your weekend. Last year, I have been traveling almost all weekends to conferences. Your family time affects your fitness, your sleep gets affected, and it becomes challenging for private practitioners like me as well as junior doctors. But still, overall, I would say conference gives you an opportunity to learn new technique, new skill. It's an opportunity to interact with legends in the field. You meet friends as well as new generation. It helps you stay focused, inspired, and motivated. Staying updated keeps you ahead in the game. Conferences are essential to grow as a specialist as well as human being. You build yourself along the way. Yes, too many conferences around, so balanced participation is the key. I would end this talk by a tweet by Chetan Bhagat. He said, don't pressure yourself, okay? If you ever get tired in the middle of this journey, remember to rest, but never quit. Don't push yourself too hard. It's okay to take breaks, to cry it out, or feel overwhelmed. We have been there. Remind yourself the reason why you have started. Be proud of how far you have come. Keep going at your own pace. Thank you. And many slides have been given by my friend Sumit Kapade, who's been very well with social media. And thank you, MCNS. Thank you.
Thank you, Rakesh, for that crisp presentation. I think we take the questions after the third talk as well, when the panel discussion happens. Please put your questions in the chat box. We'll try to get the panelists and the speakers to address them. Bhushan, can you please start your 15-minute talk?
So, good evening, everyone. Today, we will be speaking on artificial intelligence tools for neurosurgeon. I am Dr. Bhushan Thomre. I did my MCH from Niemens, was an assistant professor at PDMC and currently a fellow at Toronto Western Hospital, as Sir said. So today, we will discuss a few things in this topic, like what are the currently available AI tools are there, how to use those various tools responsibly for better communication with each other, with our patients and public, as told in social media. What are the limitations of these tools? We will discuss this here. So there is one paper in Frontiers of Surgery where how much use by neurosurgeons is done of social media. Globally, as is told, nearly 78% of institutions use social media. Individual neurosurgeons in academic sessions, nearly 31% use it globally. Individual neurosurgeons in the board survey has shown around 45 to 78% showed, and in India particularly and lower middle income countries, nearly 88% of the neurosurgeons are at least have some kind of social media uses or present throughout newer generations. So one should ask ourselves, like, should a modern neurosurgeon use an AI tool, right? Most of you will generally agree and are been using these AI tools, so most won't disagree with me. But how many of us use it on daily basis and use it adequately? Today, knowing is not enough. You should know how to use it adequately, as sir has shown before. Like all detailed manuscript has been generated with the help of AI. Meta-analysis has been generated by AI. Although you should not do it in some respected manner, but you should know how to do it and how you can use it in your research, in your practice, in your public presentations. So we'll discuss some of them today. If you put a simple search in a PubMed, like artificial intelligence in neurosurgery, you will get at least 5,000 articles today. And if you extend your terms, like including a whole gray of like artificial intelligence with machine learning, deep learning, along with neurosurgery and other procedures, the articles goes to around 10,000. Although many of them tends to be false positive, so around 8,000 to 9,000 articles are there presented in PubMed listed index journals. So to see just how it's going, I have created one small tool. I have programmed it to download all those 8,000 articles from the PubMed. And after downloading, I have generated one Excel sheet which lists all the PMID, title, abstract, authors, and particularly their affiliations, like from where those articles are getting generated. So if I do that analysis, I come to this conclusion, like most of the general articles in AI in neurosurgery are from China, second from Germany, Canada, Japan, United States. There are dedicated universities there which are doing this works with doctors. So definitely they are going to have a large number of articles published. But India stands at meager 0.5%. And this has to change because Indian neurosurgeons tends to be very comfortable with using the AI in the future. So I will show a few of the tricks how to use it. But before going forward, one should know that they should understand the basics of AI, what does actually it means, and what are the different algorithms. Although you need not know how to use them, but at least you should be aware that they are there. So there is one article, another presentation I have did. You can scan it and see it. I won't go into details about it today. Today we will be focusing on how to use those AI tools pragmatically in your practice. So if you see, there are a lot of AI tools are there in text, in video generation, in image generation, in code and speech and research, like OpenAI tools, Anthropic, DeepMind. These are on the right side. You can see the most commonly used tools like ChatGPT, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Bing, everything is there. But we cannot go into details of all of them. I will cover 4 or 5, the most important one, which you should use in daily practice. So, of course, the most common one is ChatGPT by OpenAI, and you must know this tool, how to use it properly in today's world. You cannot be left behind. It is like having a calculator which is there, and you are not using it for making a large or bigger number of calculations because it's just slowing you down if you're not using it. So those who are not climbed up on the bandwagon of AI, simply just go to the chatgpt.com website and you will see that you can start asking questions. We will go from the basic to the advanced tools in a step-by-step manner. So first of all, you should make yourself ready and safe to use these tools. Whether you are using ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Bing, Perplexity, wherever, you should first go to this data control tab and switch off this improve the model for everyone. What does it do is that it doesn't give automatic rights to the OpenAI or whatever platform you are using to store your data for the future training. It is not a foolproof way. You have to be careful, but at least this is something what you can do in the beginning before asking or sharing your data with those tools. Once that is done, there are basic things like you can start asking questions. You can add your photos or files and start questions about it. The second thing what you can do is give him the ability to search the web for you, and it will do the things for you. So these are the basic things which everybody should use in the current world. The another important tool is like the deep research, which has recently been published last year, and it has made academic waves throughout the world, because whatever you can do, which will take hours or weeks together toward the research, this simple tool is able to do it in 5 to 15 minutes for you. Like say, if you want to collect the research and do research about historical development of trephinations and importance in modern neurosurgical field, you just put a topic and everything will be done for you in a systematic review for you. This is very simple tool, and I eagerly encourage you to use this tool in your practice. Don't use it as a tool to write something, but to get an inspiration or do your research in a way, like rather than going for each and every page on a Google and searching and reading article for yourself. This is just a tool which do it for you in a simple manner. So, like if you want to write about computing, quantum computing in neurosurgery, it will take a lot of time for you if you do it on your own. So you can reduce that time by using such tools. Similarly, like if you want like global impact of Indian neurosurgeons, if you want to summarize and read all those things, it will take a lot of time. But you can see that within 15 minutes or 20 minutes, I can generate this kind of article with ChatGPT, like global impact of neurosurgeon. It has covered what is the contributions of Indian neurosurgeons, pioneers of Indian neurosurgery, how they have set up Dr. Ramamurthy, Dr. Japak Chandy, Dr. Professor Ginde, Ramamurthy, and how it has matured institutions in India like AIMS, NIMANS, and the other things. What are the prominent neurosurgeons in our era, which has got a global impact? So everything is summarized and and it has like there. It is not a small summary. If you can read it detail, everything is given like as a human will write. And the fun part is everything is documented and everything it has given a reference for you. You can go to that reference and check for yourself what line has coming from which article and from where it is coming, and it makes the what you say the falsification of the data by the AI less likely. So I will definitely encourage you to use this tool in your practice. There are second things like chat GPTs. These are the specific custom models which has some specific instructions and have access to the articles on the web in a different manner, like SciSpace, Scholar AI, Consensus, which can make your research and doing your analysis very easy if you're using that tools. A very underappreciated tool in ChatGPT is called as a data analyst. You should properly be able to use this tool. There is no excuse for newer generations because you can analyze and plan about your analysis of the data. I can show you an example here. Like, see, this is a simple data where what at the end of your thesis or any project, what you are doing, you will generate such kind of table, right? Like age, hypertension, whether there is a heart disease or not. And at the end, there will be a variable like whether there is a stroke or not. And it will be documented. At the end, you will get such kind of table, right? So once that table is there, you can upload that table and ask about like what are the different variables are there. Can you do the descriptive analysis for me? So the age, the mean, everything will be calculated for you. Similarly, if you ask it to analyze the data further and it will give you the ideas how you can analyze it, what models you can do, what logistic regression you can do it for. And it can generate charts for you also. Like as you can see here, this is the whole age distribution, BMI distribution, glucose distribution, level of glucose distribution done for you by the AI with this data analyst tool for the whole of the data. Similarly, you can ask it to do a analysis for you for particular things like age versus stroke. What are the differences between the people with age? So you can see the people with more age, and this will take like weeks for you to do all the statistics if you try to do it by yourself. And here you are getting it done in few minutes. It can analyze the p-values for you also, but definitely you need to recheck them. But definitely it gives you an ideas how to proceed with your thesis or project, whatever you are. So the second tool, what we will be doing to see today is a notebook LM. It is a tool generated by Google, and to my surprise, it is an ultimate learning tool in the current age of AI. One should know it if you want to learn something new. So what is Notebook LM? It is an AI-powered tool designed to help user comprehend and interact with the information. Users can upload various sources like documents, web pages, and put it into separate notebooks, and one can learn from it how to use how you can use that. So here is a simple form. If you create a new notebook in the Notebook LM, you can search it into Google. You can go to this website and create a new notebook for you. Once that notebook is generated, you can give the sources for it. You can give your Google Drive documents, Google Slides, even website links, and even YouTube video. You can put it here. This capability is not there in much of the other LLMs. This is the only Google specific and Notebook LLM specific thing, and others what are using it through the Google. So you have to do it, and you can paste simple facts like what you want to do with that data, and you can directly put it here. And the fun thing is that it can give you very specific data. Like if you are like, once you enter into it, it will give you to 3 tab, left, middle, and right. And in the left side, you can put the different kind of data, whatever you want to do. You can put articles and all of those things, and it will summarize it for you in the middle tab. And you can ask the questions again for me, like how is the CSF leaks? Like if I want to research about cerebrospinal fluid and other diagnosis in it, and you can see each and every article or each and every line is linked to an article. So there is very less chances of hallucinations and giving you false information. And even if it makes it very easy to check for you. Like you can go directly to that article and check whether that is true if you are having any doubts. On the right side, you can see like you can have a deep conversation with it. Like it will produce a podcast for you, and you will be able to listen. Some are auditory learners. For them, it is very useful tool. Similarly, if you're a visual learner and if you want to learn something by visual, like mind charts and all, it will produce mind charts for you. As you can see, you can produce an overview, the causes, what are the various causes. It makes a very easy tool for learning for anybody who wants to learn anything new, not particularly neurosurgery. You can see the imaging, what are the various tools, what you can image, what are the various treatment options available. Many things you can do with this simple tool, and it makes learning very easy for you. Definitely recommended. So we have covered now the text. We have covered the Notebook LM. Now we will come to video generation tool. Although these tools are not that perfect at current scenario, but we can do something out of it. Like say, if you have any project and you want to have some kind of a public or social media posting, and you want to generate an article, you can, like everybody must have used Ghibli image production till now. But you can do a lot of things with it. Like if you are trying to produce a helmet awareness program or for an International Road Safety Day or something like that, you can put some data and it will give a very beautiful pamphlet or kind of articles for you to be published on your social media platform. Similarly, if you are there and if you want to produce some kind of video for your articles, although they are not perfect, you can put it like a person who is driving on a busy Mumbai street without any helmet, and you can put it into this tool and it will produce a small video for you. Although they look funny and definitely AI generated, but it will improve over time. In today's world, we don't have other more sophisticated tool available in India like VO2 or VO3, but it will come soon, and the video capabilities of those models are definitely much better than what we are seeing here today, generated by Sora or DALI, like that of tools. So definitely, as you can see here, you can modify your prompts and see what things you can do. Like here, person is there in a police uniform trying to check your things. So the another tool, what you can do is audio generation tool. In the current world, we are posting some things like we are posting our videos or our surgical video or demonstrations or something we are trying to produce for your students or your while teaching, and you want something to be pre-made, which everybody should know before coming to a lecture or something like that. You can use this kind of tool to give that immunity. So previously, the tools or audio generation were not that good and it looks robotic. But today, if you see, if you use this tool like 11 Labs and all, you can put a script, whatever you have, like you can use ChatGPT to generate such kind of script. And let's say if you want to produce and public awareness about intracranial pressure and some kind of information you have to produce, see the audio here.
Intracranial pressure or is the pressure inside the skull exerted by brain tissue, blood, and cerebrospinal fluid. Normal ICP ranges from 5 to 15 millimeters of mercury. When it rises due to trauma, hemorrhage, tumor, or hydrocephalus, it can compress brain structures and reduce cerebral perfusion, risking brain herniation.
And if you want to change the voice, you can do that also.
Decompressive craniectomy to allow the brain to swell outward and evacuation of hematomas or tumors if present. Timely intervention is crucial because in neurosurgery, minutes can save lives and function.
Did you note that how much emphasis was given on that crucial word and how the meaning of that sentence is expressed in a way that it was previously only possible with the humans? You cannot detect like whether it is AI generated or it is generated by a human or who is very specialized in this kind of thing. So from next onward, whenever you want to generate for your patients or your studies, you can use these tools. Also, you can translate it into other language, like if your patients are having regional, like Marathi, Hindi, Kannada, whatever languages you have, you can translate it with the help of ChatGPT or any other AI tool, and definitely it will produce a very good audio for your patients.
Intracranial pressure, यानी मस्तिष्क के अंदर का दाब, ये दिमाग के ऊतकों, रक्त और cerebrospinal ड्रग CSF से बनता है.
Bhushan, could we advance it a little, please? We're running a little behind time, if you don't mind.
So yeah, I'm done, sir. 2 slides more. So image segmentation, this is little bit an advanced tool, and generally you have to do data collection, data preparation, model training, model development, and monitoring. So traditionally, you need to have such kind of programming, which I do, like you have to generate the model, you have to code, you have to do data labeling, and then training. This is the different layers of the models, what you have to build by yourself and then train on it. But there are fewer tools now which are coming, like this Notion AI. This is little bit advanced, but you can use it like the segmentation. It will choose a model for yourself and you can do it. I won't go into detail of it now due to time constraint. And definitely at the end, there are limitations to it. Definitely do not enter your patient's data into a charts directly. Most of it will be saved and used for training for the next generation of the model, providing data leakage. Don't do it. Avoid or anonymize. If you want to use it, anonymize it and give only limited information or some false information or correlated information while using those. Use a self-hosted or other local servers. If you really want to do it and try to test it, use a self-hosted servers for yourself to do it. Okay, so these are different tools like surgical outflow, diagnosis. These are the various non-surgical outflows. Diagnosis and radionomics you can use. Imaging genomics you can use. Prognostication, there is a very useful calculator by Howard. You can use it to predict the prognosis for that your particular patient. Meningiomas, traumatic brain injuries, neurohistopathology, squash, spinal tumor, identification of the plates and type of the manufacture. This is a schwannoma, a specific GPT. Other tools are there, non-surgical outflow. There are various downslides of AI are there. And I will suggest to go through these articles to give a proper further reading for the AI. So thank you for this opportunity, sir. And if you have any questions, I'll be welcome to answer them.
Thank you very much, Bhushan. I think we've had a wonderful sort of session where a lot of information has been given to us. And I would now request our panelists to sort of digest it and sort of make it palatable for all of us. Dr. Muzumdar and all the panelists, I would request you to please chime in. Can we begin with Dr. Devpujari, please? Any thoughts or any questions or queries?
I have only one comment. I mean, there's a lot of learning involved in this. I have personally used this LLM thing for making some talks or writing some thing, but usually for a general kind of a thing rather than our specific neurosurgical articles. And it is very, very useful. That is my initial impression. The question is how to use it in such a detailed manner and in such a beautiful way, I think has been shown very nicely. Girish has warned us about certain things which are equally important. And Rakesh has shown some facets of social media which I thought were probably not good, but I have to rethink about it. And I would like opinion of the house on some of these things. Apart from there are already some questions in the chat box.
Dr. Patkar, what
Yes,
are
it
your
was
thoughts, comments?
very interesting. And a couple of years ago, when I sent some papers, almost all the journals used to say that you have to decline. If you have done any part of it with AI, the paper will get rejected. I think recently Sridhar published a paper on vertebral artery and CV junction, where he has given a big declaration that no AI has been used. But gradually, I think all journals have started accepting the use of AI. And this latest review which I had read about kangaroo, I'm sure Dr. Menon would be knowing better about kangaroo guidelines, which are being probably, which will allow us in journals to make use of AI in such a way that things like plagiarism and copying somebody else's work and making use of ideas from far off from the net and trying to project as your own would die out. I was very impressed with what Dr. Menon has taught us, but I'm sure there's a lot more for us to learn. The next talk by Dr. Lohana was, of course, interesting, but this is the new generation. Like Dr. Dev Pujari, I'm still younger than Dr. Dev Pujari. We have not used this kind. We were taught that availability, ability, and affability were the main aces of private practice, and advertisement was the last. And advertisement was probably considered very detrimental. But with the increasing competition, probably with the growing pressures of private practice, all these things might be things of the past. And people like me, I don't know about Professor Dev Pujari, is very senior, whether you have to change with the accepting trends. But if you see my Google reviews, there are only 3, and all 3 are bad about me. Anybody reads those Google reviews about me will never send patients to me, but it has not affected my practice. And I really don't know. I always ask the patient when it comes to me, who has sent you to me? And invariably it is some other doctor or some other patient. I've never got a patient from some kind of website or some kind of Google. So maybe things are changing, and we must keep in online with these new things. Regarding what the last speaker said, that was also very informative. And he has kind of given guidelines where it can be used. What I am learning now in AI is that AI can be used even before histopath report to predict in gliomas the kind of the resectability, the kind of histopathology to almost 98% perfection. And before starting what you're dealing with and what are the chances of you being able to get a good resection. I think things will change as time passes, and those who don't keep up to with AI will get left behind. Of course, my time is both as a surgeon and as a speaker also is getting less. I leave it for others to decide what they feel.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Dugani, any comments? I know you are a prolific user of YouTube and have a lot of presence on YouTube as well. About what are the guidelines that you follow for, say, your YouTube videos when you post or when you post on social media, sir? Dr.
Yeah.
Dugani?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Vikram. Say at the outset, my profound congratulations and thanks to all the speakers for an excellent newer scientific material, which each every one of us need to know probably in future if we have to go and work either in an institute or in a practice. These things what we discussed today are extremely important. Present the AI at present, probably as Girish mentioned, only in a medical profession is about 20% use. 80% of us still we don't know. And at present, it is happening like 4 blind people looking at touching the elephant and explaining what it is. So we have to study this, we have to know this, and we have to go, understand it and proceed with this. Because see, like how the Google or the internet has become a part of our life, this is next future. It's going to be part of our life. We have to learn it every walk of our life, like from data to diagnosis to storing the details and to operative procedures and the instruments what we use, they are all probably going to be governed by artificial intelligence. Not only you, when you are doing it, your own hospital attendants, nurses, your assistants, your doctors, they have to know the applications of AI, like how the internet is being used by our ward boy today. That has to be done in next years to come. That's what is extremely important. Number 2, the social media. The nice presentation by Dr. Lohana. See, the issue here is the social media has come, and where, as he rightly mentioned, about 70% of the population on this globe follows the social media. As a doctor, we need to go to social media where there's a lot of people are following it to make you aware of it. And today, as he mentioned, on Facebook, see, I always keep telling the people, don't look at the Facebook or YouTube or LinkedIn or the Instagram as a social media. You'll be surprised to know on Facebook, there are minimum what I access and what I do. There are more than about 75 platforms on Facebook, and each platform with more than 5,000 neurosurgeons. Now uploading your one material on those platforms in a span of 5 seconds, more than 75,000 neurosurgeons all over the world, they will access your data. You are sharing with them your work, and they keep commenting on your work immediately. And see, this is what we share and learn from each other. They will say, I would do this way. I wouldn't have done this way. This step you need to review. So this is the sharing, and people look at it as a social media, which is not, I don't, agree with that type of a thing. Because it has become a quick, fast learning media for all of us, number 1. Number 2, if you look at the academic media today, what is happening, I'm sure many of us agree with us. There's a lot of biases in the academic media. When you want to put something, when you want to do something, the acceptance, the regional differences, the national differences, language differences, color differences, so many differences make your material not heard and not understandable and not presented all over the world. Where social media comes in the view, where you can present it. Again, people complain that you present whatever you want, and see, it is I put or you put whatever you want to put it. But ultimately, you are the person who is going through it. You decide whether it is right or wrong, and you accept it. Otherwise, leave it off. number one. And second, as rightly Dr. Rakesh mentioned, as neurosurgeons, educated people, or medical people, we should know our own limits to put it across as a responsible, integrated people. That's what I would like to say. And this is going to stay further because this is going to be a very good educative platform for all over the world. Now, simple question, ask every one of you. You want to do one complicated case. You want to see that case. What would you do? You'd go to YouTube and click on anti-communicating organism, microsurgery. Every one of us, but we don't accept it. We don't agree for it. This is exactly what is happening all over the world because I have been interacting with the neurosurgeons and juniors, learners from all over the world. This is exactly what is happening today because this material is not available anywhere else. So these platforms are going to stay, they're going to grow, and they're going to influence us. And as what we stand today, we need to upgrade ourselves to understand these materials. And AI is nothing else but a large amount of document and data which computer is giving it to us, fed it to us, and this is going to analyze for us. And this material is going to change every day, every minute. Newer data is going to be added to this. So we have to learn it, and every day we have to keep using it. That's what I would like to say for the things. And number three, you mentioned about the YouTube, how you upload the things. All this, what you upload on the YouTube or Facebook or social media, always we take a consent, written consent from the legal consent from the patient part and tell them why you are putting it and why you are doing it. And believe me, in last 14, 15 years, what I have done, not in a single case I have got back telling that why did you use. Today, many of the patients whom surgery I have done 3 months back, when they come for follow-up, they ask me, sir, my video is not there. Why you have not posted my video? I want to see my surgery. This is where the people have reached. Now the internet is accessed by 6-year-old boy, 5-year-old boy, and things are going to be like this way. Thank you for the nice evening and meeting. Ladies, it's educative. Thank you again for all the 3 speakers for excellent information.
Thank you, Professor Dugani. There are a bunch of questions that have already been asked, and many of them have been answered. Many of them have been asked by Dr. Chaudhary also. So I would like Dr. Chaudhary to please comment or carry forward those questions, please.
A couple of things. I'm probably going to stay away from commenting on social media use on in neurosurgery because I think where I am at the moment and the webinar is based mainly in India. So probably I would rather keep quiet and not talk about it at the moment. But I got a few comments to make about use of AI in neurosurgery, in medical education, and that has got a lot of impact on us currently. Unfortunately, there is no running away from it. For example, starting in medical education, did you know that GPT-4 passed neurosurgery written board exam without any problems? In USMLE, Chat GPT-4 again scored more than 90%, and most of them scored better than even the consultants as well as the residents. Where they faltered was the reasoning they used for the incorrectly answered question. That's where the resident did the best and the consultant did lesser than the residents, and the AI failed because they were extremely unreasonable when they got something wrong, even though the number of correct answers were highest by the AI. So that is going to stay for us. In our system, there are 4 educational applications that I can see. I think there was some chat about this, that how will it change education. First of all, there will be lots more virtual tutors. Second thingly, there will be more clinical scenario simulations. Thirdly, there will be more personalized learning, not only neurosurgery, all across medical education. And number 4, it will uh, uh, help in appearing for exam because AI itself can do examiner simulation better than the exams. And I think the medical education, the cost of medical education is going to be affected by that. Another comment I would like to talk about AI is the implementation barriers. There are three main real world challenges in our system to incorporate AI. Number one is technical issues. Currently, there is very poor EHR integration. Second thing is we already got some IT infrastructure in place. So the AI or the AI softwares are often incompatible with the legacy IT infrastructure and needs to be upgraded. And thirdly, the performance across lots of populations or cohorts is inconsistent in AI. There is no standardization as such, or at least I haven't come across. Second problem we faced is cost. 77% of people, the institutes that use cost, they cite acquisition cost as completely prohibitive. And this is in the Western world. So India is going to face even more. Second thing is ongoing maintenance and training expenses are also going to be prohibitive. And the third problem in implementation I see is trust deficits. What I mean is that there will be data violation, there will be accuracy issues, and there will be liability of frameworks that are currently undefined, and professional responsibility of the clinicians who use AI is still unclear. If we use AI and give some information about risk of, say, a great vessel injury in lumbar discectomy, if we use AI but not our own experience, it is liable to be challenged, and we don't know what that liability is. So we have loads of problems uh, uh, in front of us, and we cannot escape them. I will tell you an example. We are in our hospital upgrading the software so that we can use AI, or at least start using AI, whatever. So we are using now something called as Connect APR software, and our trust has spent 85 million pounds in just upgrading our current systems. And that is not rupees, 85 million pounds. So you can imagine, and this money of course goes to Oracle who are devising the system, but you can imagine the funding required for any upgradation of the system or any legitimate use of AI in our day-to-day practice is going to face a lot of challenges. It's going to be here to, going, it is going to stay here forever, and probably I cannot imagine what can happen in future, but not everything is hunky-dory. We are going to face problem. As far as Rakesh's presentation is concerned, I thought that was an absolute correct or balanced view of current use of social media in neurosurgery. In our system, I'm so scared to use social media for a chat or putting a video or even explaining a case, because you just don't know how is it going to backfire on you. And we are literally scared of the General Medical Council because they can strip away our registration very quickly if we do something wrong or if we are seen to be doing something wrong. So we are, of course, in a different system. And in India, you guys are very lucky. I always enjoy watching Dr. Dugani's videos and several other videos, and I find them very, very academic, entertaining, and knowledgeable, but something that we are not able to produce even as individuals or institutionals. But congratulations to all the three speakers, Bhushan, Rakesh, and Dr. Menon. I think phenomenal oversight of the subject and very, very educative. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Chaudhary. I think there is one question that remains unanswered in the chat box, and that's by Dr. Magdoum. He's actually not asked his question. Dr. Magdoum, can you please ask your question?
Just two things. One is about publishing your operative work. I have got a colleague who was in Coventry who used to give the operative videos to the patient. And basically, he had one video where he did surgery, and basically the pathology was not where it was, and the pathology came as not a glial tumor, and he was sacked. So you need to be very careful of what you do and where you do, and even the patient consent. Tomorrow somebody will see the video and criticize if you put the name to the video saying, this is your video which I put it on the internet, and tomorrow I, as an expert, sit down and see, no, this this step he did wrong. Because of that, you've got a slight neural deficit, and that you can sue it because there is evidence in front of you that this is the case. So everyone has got a different way of handling things. You might say his handling of the vessel was rough or smooth. So you are very much open to criticism in a jury or judge situation. So I would suggest, yeah, you can do that, but be very, very aware because you are open to criticism, saying that this is going to be, and it will happen. Chris Adams commented on that operative video to say that surgeon has done that wrong, and he was stuck out. This was the BBC News. So I would suggest that be very careful because your competitors very easily can see the video saying that this is not the right thing way to do. So as we have no standardization of how we operate on anything, how we do craniotomies and how we do things, everyone is different. So that is a very important point when you start publishing. I would suggest, I think it's good to show things what you've done, and now all those exoscopes and everything are there. But I would say before you do that, if you go to the court case and something says like, suppose a most senior neurosurgeon from India says, no, this is wrong. What you did there, this was the mistake you did. That's why this patient is suffering from long-term consequences. That's one point. And the other thing, a useful help for AI is a platform which we have is Heidi platform. Heidi is a software, it's a free software which you can dictate your operative notes, your clinic notes. It's a very quick and beautiful summary. It is okayed by the NHS and it's free for 10 applications per month, which you can easily do a lot of letters. It summarizes everything beautifully. The patient comes in. I just put my mobile phone on transcription mode and I said, make a note of it. It does beautiful notes. I don't have to think about it twice. Everything is summarized almost perfectly. And this is a software designed by a doctor, which is now NHS compliant, and it has got all the safety features. So using AI in that way should be what we should do. So our paperwork is foolproof because we don't have the paperwork. If we have not written anything, it's not been done. That's going to happen everywhere, is my opinion. That's what 2 comments I had to do.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Dr. Muzumdar, any thoughts, comments?
I think the speakers were fantastic. The panelists have mentioned most of the issues. I'm always a devil's advocate. So I would say that, this is a direct challenge to human intelligence. And we have to now, adhere to our human intelligence. Now, the most important thing is discrimination and this thing are valid in their own context. But I feel we have to be more aware and cautious. And Dr. Makhdoom mentioned this thing that a single thing gone beyond because of lack of standardization has cost somebody his job, which is, I think, it is foolishness. And what Sushil was mentioning about that affability and advertisement and all, now we are going reverse way. See, we had calculators, we lost our the acumen of calculating things ourselves. We had computer keyboard. We have lost. We cannot write a letter now. I'm sure how many of you can really write a paragraph. Now this is a direct threat. I'm not against AI, but I think there's a lot of. I just mentioned about the fallacies that even in US, the treatment for myocardial infarct is different in Brigham and Mass General. And our own fellow is Dr. Jagmeet Singh is there, who is from KEM. He is the cardiologist who said that how do we treat a myocardial infarction? And the whole problem is that it is pertaining to that data of people or that community. Now that person goes 10 miles away, it will be a different protocol. Now this is just the start of it. So all the advantages that we have just mentioned about for writing a letter or just getting to know, but we have to know discrimination is the keyword. Now all the panelists and the speakers that they have said, the whole one word I would summarize is that discrimination. We have to have a discriminatory intelligence, which is now AI is challenging our discriminatory intelligence. If we lose it, we are gone. We will just flow, and all the caveats which have been told. Now, in India, I think Kishore and Shailendra have mentioned, we are following. Now they have a very strict usage of WhatsApp and social media. We are into it now because our next breed of lawyers are getting trained for it. There will be people who will be now lawyers who will be specializing in misuse of AI in neurosurgery or medicine, and our patients have access to it. Now, are we going to sort of we have to employ our own lawyer? We have to employ, we will be challenged with a lot of time space. So we have to be very careful of this. But yes, Dr. Dev Pujari mentioned that we will fall behind. But as Sushil mentioned, even if I don't have, I don't know whether it depends on which side of the of 50 you are. Now, younger generation will flow into it, maybe generate their own experience and do corrective measures. But for people like us who are now nearing 60 or beyond 60, maybe we can just be okay with it, and either we are blessed that we are not going to face the problems of AI, or we are sorry that we won't be able to achieve take the fruits of AI. So I think it's a very fantastic discussion. All three speakers have been very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Muzumdar. I think as we come to the close of this session, I think what I learned from these discussions is that this is a tremendous tool. It's a tool like any other tool, and I think we need to get more familiar learning it and using it appropriately in the appropriate circumstance. Of course, there are going to be gray areas all the time. So I think I hope this starts the interest in this sort of subject, something that is another tool for us. And communication in neurosurgery is just one aspect of it. I want to thank Dr. Girish, Dr. Bhushan, and Dr. Rakesh for their wonderful talks.
Vikram, now
And
Dr. Lokendra Singh is there. Can he?
yeah,
I thought probably either he doesn't either he doesn't probably either he doesn't recognize me or he doesn't want to give me a chance. I'm not very sure.
Your comments are
Or he doesn't think that
before Lokendra says something, I want to just say two sentences. Loken, my introduction to AI came because suddenly in my college group of MBBS, people who never were literate started writing poetries. And I started seeing their poetries, and I was surprised. And later, after a few years, I realized they were all AI written.
Oh gosh. And this is what, AI got the Sahitya Akademi Award also for that. So
we would like to research.
I wish Karmakar should have given me a chance. It is unfortunate he didn't. But you remembered me. Thank you very much for that. Well, I have my own views about it. It's new thing. It is bound to be there. It is not. It won't bog down. Means we may dislike it, we may like it, but there are very few important things. Few things I'll just talk in nutshell. It's garbage in, garbage out. Whatever you feed it, it throws out at you. So that's extremely important thing. One has to remember. He has already talked about Girish, about hallucinations and black box and cytogenesis. Those are the real problems. The problem is beyond that. We are using just for as a academic and research tools. But the moment we start including it into treatment protocols and other things, or we start using, because later on that's the next thing, that you start using Da Vinci or something like that. There are so many problems associated with, because these all tools have started developing awareness now, gradually. And the day is not far when they will start having their own consciousness and emotions. And when it happens, it will boomerang on us and it will create a havoc for us. So, as rightly said by Girish, we should be masters, not the slaves of it. How much to use is extremely important to decide that how much we would like to use all these tools in our day-to-day practice and in our work. Because brain is such a thing, use it or lose it. If we don't use it, we are going to lose it. Our all faculties will slow down, right from writing, imagination, thinking, drawing, every faculty will go down. What we will be reduced to then? Please imagine that. So I think there has to be a very logical use of these tools. We should not really try to, reduce our own capacities, which we have developed, the faculties we have developed over the decades and centuries as human beings. Unfortunate part is human beings have developed a machine to kill the human beings and to replace them. And this is what the most unfortunate part is. So, and about the social media, I think the day is not far, as rightly said by my dear friend, that the advocates will start using these all presentations which were published there against us one day. We have to be extremely careful, extremely cautious what to put and what not to put. I think we should be very, very careful what we publish there, whether it is YouTube or it is WhatsApp or anywhere. So I think it is a ox, it is a wild horse which we have to domesticate and use it judiciously. Thank you.
I think
Thank you, sir.
Can conclude with anybody else is there?
No, I think most are comments on the chat box. And
it's already 10:15, sir. I think need to wind up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, I took some extra time.
No, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your comments, sir. If nothing, no more comments or questions, maybe we can wind up. Thanks again to Girish, Rakesh, and Bhushan for a wonderful sort of talks, and to all the panelists and speakers for a beautiful discussion. Over to you, Shiv Shankar. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. It was really a wonderful and insightful webinar. And I really thank the panelists, speakers, and moderators for doing a wonderful job. It is completely a different topic altogether. And I really congratulate Dr. Vikram Karmakar for having this thoughtful webinar. It was quite successful because almost 60 plus, at least went up to 70 participants, and almost from 10 to 50 were watching it on YouTube. So this was the need of hour, and all the panelists and speakers did justice to the webinar that was planned by you today. And thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Good night. Good night.
Thank you, Vikram.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.